Hello friends, it's Shazib Afridi from Game Logics and this is the 17th part of our tutorial series how to make our Switch game in Unity. Okay, so in this tutorial what I am about to do is I'm going to create a script which in the upcoming tutorials I will assign to our one of our particle system. Okay, so let's create the script first and just bear with me, you will understand everything. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so let's create a script first. So this script is going to be called our destroy object. Okay, destroy object. Okay, so I will attach this script to our star, which basically which is used for our score, like when we want to increase our score in the game. So that star is used. Okay, when we will pass through the star we will achieve some score. Okay, and that star will create some effect like a particle effect. Okay, so I will attach this script to that star, and when we will pass through that star, so we would like that star to be destroyed. Okay, we don't want that star anymore in our scene. Okay, so let's write a script. Okay, so for this script I don't need this update method, I only need our start method. Okay, and a few data members, mm, like our public audio clip, destroy sound. Okay, then again public float delay. Okay, so audio clip destroy sound, it will play our destroy sound when that star will get destroyed, and delay, like the delay before the object gets destroyed, like we will assign it a specific value, and when the time passes that star will get destroyed. Okay, and another one is going to be our boolean bool value, destroy children. So like whether we want to destroy the children or not. Okay, basically we will create a bulk of stars. Like I will use the concept of object pooling. Okay, you will understand that later. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so pooling concept will be used. Like we will create a bulk of star, not a single star. Okay, and another variable, yeah, is going to be our public float push child amount. Okay, so post child amount will be used for okay, we will I am going to apply a torque and some force so that our child star will we will push away this child star from the center of the parent. Okay, um, like we will create a bulk of star, and the stars will be linked to its parent. Okay, then we will separate the stars from its parent by applying some force to that. Okay, so let's create an array, an array of children. Okay, so as I told you, we will create the stars in a bulk, like not a single quantity. Transform So the array will be like transform dot child count. Okay, so this script will be attached to an object, and that object will have a certain amount of children. Okay, so that's why. Mm, okay, now let's use a loop. I equal to 0, and I should be like iterating from the transform.child amount, child count, sorry, and then we would like to increment our I, and then what the hell am I doing? Okay, and then children of I. Now let's populate our children. Okay, so it's just creating, like it will create an array of an array equal to our child count, like two, that might be three, four, five, whatever the number. The number can be anything. Okay, and then we will populate the array. Okay, how? Transform dot get dot get child dot get child I. Okay, so it will like the transform, you can treat it as parent. Okay, so it's like our parent, the transform. Okay, so because this script will be attached to an to a game object, and that will be our parent, and that transform will serve as parent. Okay, so the transform attached to this game object, and it will look for the for the children, and then one by one we will assign those children to our created array. Okay, so this function, what it does, it gets the child by a specified int index. Okay, returns a transform child by index. Okay, so we will populate the array, and then next what we will do is if our destroy children, if it's not true, like we don't want to destroy our children, then what we will do is simply transform dot detach children. Okay, so we will detach all the children, like we will separate all the children from the parent. Okay, this is what this is the function of detached children. Okay, unparents all children. Okay, now we would like to we would like to add some force and torque. Okay, so like now what we will do is another loop, and I equal to 0, and I less than our children dot not dot length. Okay, and I plus plus. So now we will create a child. Okay, 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 we will use it. So now, if our child, no children, not if now we will look for our child dot get component, uh, rigid body. We will check if our child has uh, a rigid body component attached to it, and no, 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 it's not like, yeah, this way. And then we will see push child amount if it's not equal to 0, like we have applied some value to it. Why does it saying this? Why? Okay, so for this, okay, so for a moment I'm going to, okay, I'm going to check the reason why it's showing me, and then I'll show you why. Okay, so the problem is basically, yeah, we haven't assigned it. Okay, so I don't know what the hell was I thinking. Like, okay, we have created an array. So what we should do is we will iterate through that array and will check each child whether it has a rigid body component attached to it or not, and whether we have applied some amount of like post child amount. Okay, if it's not 0, then this condition will become true. And okay, so let's search children, not child, children of I. Like, first it will look for the 0th index and then 1 2. Okay, so we will iterate, okay, as you can see here. Okay, so um, then what we will do, we will create a rigid body, child rigid body, and we will assign this we will assign this rigid body component to our child. Okay, get component, and get component rigid body, and then, yeah, okay, and then we will create a vector 3 uh, push direction, like in which direction along x, y, and z axis we would like to apply the force on our child object, basically, which is our star. Okay, and so child dot position minus transform, which is basically its parent. Okay, so we will minus the child position uh, from its parent position, so it will give us um, a specific value, a specific point, okay, a specific direction along x, y, and z axis. Okay, and through that direction we will apply the force. Okay, so child rb dot add force. Okay, so what it does, it takes two arguments. One is vector 3 force, like force along x, y, and z axis, it will apply the force, and the other one is force mode. Okay, we have different force modes. We will understand them. I will explain them when the right time comes. Okay, like, but here I am going to use one force mode, and I will explain that what that does. Okay, so let's our um, so vector 3 force, our force direction will be push push direction, and then our force mode is going to be um, like we can apply the acceleration or what the hell did I do? Force mode dot. Okay, so yeah, let's show you. Add a continuous acceleration to the rigid body, ignoring its mass. What it does, it adds acceleration. Okay, it's a physics term. Force, acceleration, and torque. All these are linked with physics. Okay, so acceleration basically, like you can say in terms of physics, it's when the direction of an object gets changed, or if the speed increases or decreases, you can say when the speed varies. Okay, so that can be called acceleration, or when the direction of an object changes. Okay, so that can be called acceleration as well. Okay, and force, force. Okay, it's simple. Okay, so we will simply use force. Okay, so force is basically aid of a continuous force to the rigid body using its mass. Okay, so it will continuously apply the force and will use the mass of the our rigid body, which is basically the rigid body of our child. Okay, and let's see what is, oh, what the hell, what is impulse? Okay, impulse is add an instant force impulse to the rigid body, like a force at a certain amount of time, like at once. Okay, and then what the hell? Velocity change. Yeah, add an instance velocity change to the rigid body, ignoring its mass. Okay, so it will change its velocity. Velocity means it will change its uh, speed or its direction. Basically, acceleration is caused by change in velocity. Okay, in terms of physics. Okay, so force is the required. So we need force for our force mode. Okay, and then torque. uh, Torque. So it's basically the same. But what is basically torque? Torque is also a physics term. So the turning effect. Okay, torque is basically, like you can say, fans and the vehicles of cars. They have torque, like the turning effect. Okay, when the turning effect is caused by, you can say, a force. Okay, like in some object, you can say when a turning effect is created or is caused in that object by the result of an applied force. Okay, you can say that that is torque. Okay, so these are physics things. Okay, so that will be our push direction, and again force mode is going to be force mode dot force. Okay, so it will imply some torque along this direction. It will add some force along this direction. Okay, and finally, okay, so after this we would like to play our sound. If we have attached our destroy sound, like it's true. Okay, like it has some value, it's not null, then we would like to play. Okay, so our audio clip will be like, okay, so now we would like to play our destroy sound. Okay, so it will play this sound. Okay, so it takes two elements, which is one is our audio clip and the other is vector 3 position. The position we would like to choose our parent position, okay, like transformer position. Wherever the parent object is, that will be our position. Okay, so we would like to play our sound. And finally, mm, at the end, we would like to um, destroy, okay, because the basic purpose of this script is to destroy our game object. Okay, destroy our game object with a specified amount of time. Okay, the optional amount of time to delay before destroying the object, so it will be our delay. Okay, so this is our script and we don't need these. Let's get rid of them and let's save the project, and I will create the stars particle system for this script, and then we'll attach the script to that particle system. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial, and if you haven't subscribed my channel, then subscribe it and press the bell icon for notifications. And if you have any questions, then let me know in the comments, and see you in the next